We must dissent from the indifference. We must dissent from the apathy. We must dissent from the fear, the hatred, and the mistrust. We must dissent from a nation that has buried its head in the sand, waiting in vain for the needs of its poor, its elderly, and its sick to disappear and just blow away. We must dissent from a government that has left its young without jobs, education, or hope. We must dissent from the poverty of vision and the absence of moral leadership. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better. Thurgood Marshall, Supreme Court Justice of the United States and lawyer in the Brown versus Board case of 1954, is our ancestor of the week. Ashe.
Express yourself.
Hotep to the servant leader scholars of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. And your response is Shem Hotep, Dr. Mayat. And now it's time for the magic question. Sankofa, how y'all feeling? Fantastic. Terrific, great, all day long. Boom, boom, boom. Whoa. And now we will begin the morning libations. We ask that you please stand strong, please stand firm in the firm Angalea. We ask for permission from an elder to begin. Permission has been granted in advance. And now we will begin the morning libations. Ashe. We first pour libations to the gift of life, love, and learning, and we say Ashe. We pour libations to our ancestors who marched out of Africa and gave the gift of humanity to the world, and we say Ashe. Those ancestors who gave the gifts of art, science, writing, reading, architecture, medicine, and we say Ashe. We pour libations to the mighty nations of Africa, Ashe. We pour libations to the Dagara nation who are located in Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire. To the Dagara we pour libations and we say Ashe. We pour libations to the nations of Aksum and Nubia of ancient Ethiopia. We pour libations and we say Ashe. We pour libations to the nation of ancient Kemet, otherwise known as ancient Egypt. We pour libations to Kemet and we say Ashe. We pour libations to Amenemhet III of the 12th dynasty of Kemet, who lived approximately 3,800 years ago, a warrior pharaoh who protected his nation, maintained stability, built not only pyramids but also the Great Labyrinth. 2. Amenemhet III, we pour libations and we say Ashe. To our ancestors who were taken from Africa, who were kidnapped and forced into dungeons, who boarded slave ships through doorways of no return, those who mutinied on slave ships, sacrificed, fought, and died, to those who turned around slave ships, burned slave ships, to those African ancestors we pour libations and we say Ashe. To the leaders of the 1795 revolt against slavery in Coro, Venezuela, to Jose Chirino and Jose Caridad Gonzalez, both Venezuelans of African descent who led the 1795 rebellion against slavery. To those African ancestors we pour libations and we say Ashe. To Harriet Jacobs, born 1813, died 1897, author and abolitionist. Born into slavery, she escaped and wrote her autobiography, Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. After the Civil War, Harriet Jacobs used money from the book and proceeds to found 2 schools in the South during Reconstruction. 2. Harriet Jacobs, we pour libations and we say, Ashe. 2. Lucy Parsons, born 1853 into slavery in Texas. She became an ancestor in 1942, a labor organizer, a radical, a journalist, and a fiery public speaker. Her speeches were deemed too radical. She advocated for workers' rights, against lynching and convict leasing, and she was against racism in the criminal justice system. 2. Lucy Parsons, we pour libations and we say, Ashe. Let us take a moment and pour libations to the ancestors in our personal families. I pour libations to Mama Nettie Mae Williams and Papa Frank Washington. To them, I pour libations and I say, Ashe. I ask that you call the names of the ancestors in your personal families. To those ancestors named and unnamed, we pour libations and we say, Ashe. For an affirmation to the leadership of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School, we pour affirmation and give thanks to Sister Tamika Bowman. We pour affirmation and give thanks to Brother Issa Clark. And we pour affirmation and give thanks to our leader and founder, Dr. Mama Aisha Imani. Ashe. We give an affirmation to the Sankofa family. We give affirmation to the parents, the students, the teachers, and the staff. We ask that this libation is accepted with all good intention, that it is understood as a cultural and educational practice of Africans in the schools. We ask that you walk in the footsteps of your ancestors so that one day the unborn will walk in your footsteps. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. It is now time for announcements and recognitions. The principle of the month is Umoja, and Umoja means unity. The Ma'at virtue of the month is harmony. Quarter 1 is over October the 30th, and Quarter 2 starts November the 2nd. Let's give a recognition to those students that are finishing the quarter out the Sankofa way, scholarly and focused. Ashe. Sister Brenda would like to recognize 3 Sankofa scholars who began their dual enrollment experience with Manor College. They are participating in a 9-week college course in addition to their Sankofa caseload. 2. Halamatu Diawara, Samaja Walker, and Elijah Mitchell. Ashe.
We are the servant leaders and intellectual warriors
of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School.
We shall always remember the sacrifices of our ancestors.
Those who were taken from their land and those whose land was taken from them.
Because we stand on the shoulders of the mighty people,
we shall build mighty shoulders for others to stand.
We pledge to develop good habits of the mind, body, and spirit.
We pledge to continue the legacy of the freedom fighters before us.
We understand that we exist because others have made it possible for us.
Because others have made it possible for us,
we will make it possible for others.
every day and every way.
We shall learn so that we can teach, and we shall teach so that we can change the world.
We are
Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School,
working to restore excellence in scholarship,
culture, and community.
One heart,
One love,
one earth,
one people,
Harambe.
Now, it is time for the moment of silence. The moment of silence is used to reflect on the day. The moment of silence begins now. Go forth with purpose. Hold your head up high. Stay focused on your future. Ashe.